This is going to be for my cardinal signs. Cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, one of each element. All right, if y'all don't know what a cardinal sign is, cardinal sign is an initiator of the zodiac, just depending on the element. So Aries is, cardinal fire, which is on passion. And then you have Capricorn, which is, cardinal earth, more practical, more logical. Okay. And they get things started on a practical level, logical level. And then you have Libra, Libra is like their ideas, and they initiate their ideas and put those into motion. Okay. And then Cancerian energy is, it's based all on emotions, emotional intelligence. So initiating, like being more open, like being more communicating their feelings, being open about what they're feeling, and initiating a deep sense of like vulnerability type of thing. Okay, so let's get into this. So let's see what spirit has for my cardinal signs. So make sure to follow me. Okay, make sure to subscribe to my channel. All right, I know it's been a while, so I haven't been on posting on YouTube. So but let's see what spirit has to say here about my Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, my cardinal signs. Okay. We have the Page of Swords, okay, and we have the Hangman. So there was a lot of resistance to like your projects, to who you are. Okay, you feel like you didn't know who you are for the longest time. Okay, I feel, but I only feel this because like I feel it's because you're taking on other people's stuff. You're taking on other people's energy or other people's problems. Like you're the one that gets everything going, so you get everything else going for everybody else around you, but it's like, what about your stuff that you want to do on a personal level? What are you doing to get things started? And it was always excuses, or like there was just something about like there was a lot of like there's issues with speaking up. You had issues speaking up, or defending yourself in some way, I feel like. Okay, so yeah, the star. And there's an energy of here like not wanting to be seen as well, okay, from your cardinal signs. Like there's an energy here of being afraid to be seen, living in your purpose fully. Like there's something about you being seen that makes you feel uncomfortable, or made you feel uncomfortable, because of all maybe the criticism you may receive, or like it may not pan out the way you think, like typical, like it's a fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being in the spotlight. Because I feel like it's like y'all don't want to be seen like all the time. You like your own, space, you like your own auric field that, without being, like I guess you could say your auric field being tainted or something like that. That's what I feel from a lot of y'all cardinal signs. Okay. um just being in your, like you've been in your protective bubble for quite some time. Okay, is what I feel. So excuse me. But yeah, we have the Nine of Cups in the placement of the first house, which deals with our general outlook, our identity, how people perceive you, how you perceive others. So like there was an energy here, like you just enjoy your own company quite a bit. Okay, maybe you got caught up in that type of lifestyle where it was just you. I don't want to be seen. I just want to enjoy myself. It's like nines deal with Mars energy. So like you you know getting out there as far as initiating what you want to start is like, it's almost like you got too complacent is what I'm hearing. Okay, like y'all cardinal signs got too complacent with life, like thinking you didn't need to improve, you didn't need to like do any more, or you need to, like, you got caught up in a good lifestyle or something like that, or you just felt like, those vices that you had, it just felt like, okay, these, I need to stop doing these things because it's not making me feel happy anymore, like that type of energy. But now it's like you're being pushed into the spotlight, you're being pushed into doing what you have to do. okay? It's part of what you have to do in this lifetime is to be seen. You have to be seen, not in a way where you're grabbing and seeking attention, but it's like what you do on a divine level is going to grab attention. And you may enjoy your own space, and that's good and all, but there's a part of you that needs to be seen. You need to fulfill your purpose, okay? Is what I'm getting. Like some of these projects, some of these things that you've been just stalling on for the longest time have just been like, you just like, when are you going to get this started? You know, how many excuses you're going to have, you know, type of thing. Yeah, because look, we have the Eight of Pentacles in the second house of how you make and spend your money and your resources, you know. I feel like it's because this is what I mean, getting back on track, what you need to do here, okay? You're enjoying like the good food, the good drinks, the the lifestyle of being just by yourself, but there's a part of you that there's an energy here where spirit says you got to get into your purpose is to be seen and to make a difference. And because your energy is very influential, your voice is very profound. Okay, I pick up the eights deal with Saturn. They deal with Aquarius, Capricorn energy. You could have those in your chart as well. So because this is a cardinal, you know, reading, so you maybe have fixed energy in your chart here, and of course eights deal with also Capricorn, which is, you know, pertains to as well. So it's like, what got you to this point of success where you got too comfortable, too complacent? Like there's an energy of being you were too complacent. Like you didn't think you needed to change anything. You didn't think, you know, everything was going good, but it's like the part of you just, you know, you just put away in the storage or the attic, symbolically speaking here. Like you just put something away and you just said, nah, it doesn't need to be, I don't need that, you know, like, but it's spirit's kind of like pulling that back out of the closet. Like you need to start doing this, like that type of energy. Okay. Yeah, we have the Seven of Pentacles in the placement of your third house, which deals with your thoughts, your communication, your mind, okay, how you speak and all that stuff. So like it feels like a sense of you've maybe felt impatient, like you were losing patience with the things that you were doing, and you think it didn't pan out in a time frame that you wanted, so you kind of just said, meh, you know, I'm putting this away. I don't need this right now. Like, and you started procrastinating, making excuses why you shouldn't get back into it, okay, is what I'm getting. Sevens deal with spirit. Seven is Neptunian energy. It's very Piscean, okay? It's like trusting spirit, okay? That the consistency that you were doing, you were showing is panning out, but since you felt like it didn't pan out in that time frame, you just kind of just fell off of what you were doing, whatever it was, a project or something, you know, or planning to relocate or whatever the case may be, is what I feel like. You just said, you know what, that's not panning out the way in the time frame I want, so I'm going to just abandon it altogether. But it's like now you're being pushed back into it and saying, your purpose is to be seen, your purpose is to be doing this and that, X, Y, and Z, okay? So we have the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person here. So of course Cancerian energy is cardinal. So I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of healing mother wounds here, you know, like emotional healing when it comes to your divine feminine, because a lot of divine feminine energy here. Of course, Cancerian energy rules over the divine feminine energy, that feminine aspect that we all have within us. And it's just something about healing that. Like, what traits do you share with your mother that is keeping you from achieving what you want to achieve or pursuing something without giving up so quickly, type of thing, I feel. Okay, that patience, that it's like the sense of being impatient. Okay, Cardinal said you got real impatient with some things, or you just, you know, when you got impatient, you just gave up on whatever it was and said, you know, I could do this will be fine. It's like then you got complacent with whatever you're currently doing, thinking you shouldn't expand in some way, but you need to, okay? So, and we have the Empress here. So it's a lot of it has a lot to do with how you felt about yourself. And you may feel like I get the energy like you were selling yourself short, you're watering yourself down. Cardinal signs, you're really watering yourself down, putting yourself down a lot, I feel, okay? And that's because of a lot of inner child stuff, you know, where you were being criticized constantly for not doing what others wanted you to do, something like that. All right, that's the energy. But it's how you felt about yourself, and that's been the focus, or needs to be the focus going forward. Here is how you feel about yourself, okay? And do you feel like you're suited to live out your purpose, which you are suited to live out your purpose, but you have to break past some of these ancestral type healing that needs to take place or has been taking place. There's a part of you that you're still holding on to when it comes to a mother figure. I feel like, okay, like you're holding on to some type of grief that doesn't allow you to move forward. Okay, is what I'm getting. Yeah, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. All right, yeah, or a Virgo person. This is in the placement of work, job, daily routine, and health. So there's an energy here where there was a lot of, I get a lot of grief. I get a lot of, like, you went through a lot of verbal abuse, okay, mental abuse, like just people just really embedding that type of thought process into you. So when something doesn't pan out in a way, all just settle. It's kind of like it's an energy of settling for something less, okay? Because of this mother wound. Your mother likes to settle for less. She was not a person that, was very in pursuit of her goals. She didn't, like, she gave up too quickly on things, and that's how you kind of go about things, and that's what you were healing or continuing to heal. Grieving over the fact that, you deserve better than what you're doing now. But it's going to require, certain extra steps here, certain steps of leaps of faith, and that's something you're not used to doing, taking leaps of faith. So you kind of, just kind of stay in your lane. You do what it feels logical. Sometimes when you're too logical, it doesn't pan out that way because you're being too logical, okay? Excuse me, goodness, confirmation. But yeah, we have the Four of Pentacles in the placement of your 7th house, which deals with your one-on-one relationships, business partnerships. So there's a lot of grief, as I mentioned. There's like this pentacle in the middle here that this man is holding. Is like he's holding on to some heavy grief in his heart. He doesn't want to let go. Like, he doesn't want to leave his comfort zone. He does, like, that's the energy. Like, y'all have gotten really complacent. They keep saying you got complacent. And that's why you feel stuck and stagnant now, and you're getting pushed back into what you were doing that had your passion. You had your heart, ignited with so much creativity and all that, and you're just kind of, you've been ignoring that, neglecting that part of you, that passion, that project, that thing you want to do truly, as opposed to what you're settling for now, type of thing. And we have the Hangman here in the placement of the 8th house, which deals with our spiritual growth, evolution, and change. So that there's a perspective that needs to shift, and that's what you've been working on, is a perspective shift, on how you view your current circumstances. It's like, do I just continue on this endless cycle that I'm just continuing to grieve, hold on, and continue to be living in fear? It's like this energy where you lived in fear. You're living below your own standards, living below your own divine purpose here. You're not even living in your purpose. It's like an energy of being I feel disconnected from your purpose. You've been disconnected for quite some time, for the last few months, even, last maybe 8 weeks, 8 days, even 8 months, for some of y'all. Okay. So yeah, we have the Ace of Wands in the placement of the 9th house, which deals with higher education, higher learning, long distance travel, expansion, okay, multiple streams of income. So there's a sense of, income here too. Like, there's a thing you want to do for income, that you want to make it your mainstream income. Okay, if that makes sense, like I pick up, but you're settling for this that's bringing in income now, but it's not really fulfilling you, like it's not doing the same type of, it doesn't feel fun to you, but what you do when you're not doing this other thing, this income, it just feels like a business. I feel like y'all have trying to get a business off the ground, or a business that has been stagnant lately, and you feel like just what you have now for income is good enough. But I feel like you need to understand that you could always have more. You could always do something that you actually love to do. You know, it's like you do one thing and then you forget about this thing that you actually love to do. It's just waiting for you to, like, it just your creativity is like, there's that disconnect from your creativity, disconnect from your spirit, disconnect from your purpose, and you've fallen off. You've been settling too much lately, and spirit's pushing you back into what makes you feel feel full, type of thing. Three of Pentacles in the placement of career, professional destiny, status in society, karma in the past. Okay, so I feel like there's a sense of being pushed into networking, push networking, getting back into the midst of achieving whatever this goal is. It just feels like a business to me, like an entrepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur, so it's like you're getting back into the midst of networking and showcasing yourself and things of that nature, getting back out there and just really exposing yourself to that, to to achieving this business that you want to run, is what I feel. Okay. So yeah, we have the Death card in the placement of the 11th house, which deals with social media, technology, acquaintances, your social groups. Okay, unexpected change. So there's a lot of unexpected changes when it comes to the people around you. And I think, your spirit and your ancestors have been showing you who has been really the obstacle here. Like, the obstacles that were placed there, or you placed there, because you didn't want to have to face the fact that you've been falling off your purpose. You've been too sidetracked. You've been too distracted. I feel like, okay, you're not paying attention to your spiritual practices. I feel like you weren't paying attention to the spiritual practices you were doing, the rituals, the routines you used to do, that you loved to do. I feel like you just fell off of that stuff. You didn't want, like, you just got lazy. Okay, you got lazy with that stuff. You got really lazy. You didn't think it was important anymore. You think you're going a different direction. So it's like, I don't need this. But then there's a part of you now that's starting to come back, where it's like, wait a minute, it's like, you're coming full circle now. It's like you're at this point again. It's like, do I really want to continue this endless loop? Okay. So we have the Ace of Swords in the placement of the 12th house, which deals with spirituality, which deals with solitude, life behind closed doors and secrecy, past lives, your dreams. Okay. I just feel like you've you've had a realization, epiphany here, where it's like, okay, I'm going to step into my purpose. I'm just not going to, like, you're going to start taking things serious when it comes to your spiritual practices, your spiritual essence. Like, you're getting back into that. I feel like you've been actively healing that self-worth that that was needed, your heart chakra that needed to be opened up so you could be open to receiving that abundance and stuff like that, but also creating a balance of doing physical movement, creating momentum to have that energy to receive. Does that make sense? It's kind of like this energy where lately you were settling, being too complacent with where you're at. Okay, you feel like this is just good enough, and it's kind of like your perspective on what is good, what makes you feel good, what fulfills you is not the same anymore. So it's changing, and you don't want to repeat the same things that your mother did. It's like a mother thing. I get like a mother wound, grandmother, like type of energy I pick up here, with y'all cardinal signs. It's an energy, it's a motherly thing, it's an ancestral thing. And you get into, something's good, you're making good money, but it's like, you can make more, or there's more out there, you're not taking chances, you get a little complacent, you stay there, and you get a little afraid to go any further, and you just kind of settle, and you go, you just keep kind of putting things off for the next day or the next month or the next year. You know, like the things constantly changing. It's like it's like you have a hard time sticking to something. You know, like that's the energy I pick up for y'all cardinal signs. And I just feel like now you're being pushed into a place where you can't be complacent anymore because you're not feeling happy anymore. And I feel like some of y'all got sick recently because of this. Like there was some type of sickness that hit you that made you realize maybe I am being a little too complacent, too, watered down here. And I'm not even living in my purpose, and I'm not even exactly happy anyway with what I'm doing. Even though I'm trying to perpetuate the fact that I may be happy in this situation now, when you're not really happy. Like your human side wants to be is happy, but it's like your spirit is like, there's more. I need you to be back into this creative energy, this entrepreneur energy, this this sense of divinity that you haven't been fully, you may have been disconnected from. Okay. Because you've been so caught up in other people's things, other people's personal issues. I feel like you overgiving, too open. You're too open with yourself. You're too open with the energy you give, not being discerning, that type of stuff, being maybe a little too open, a little too, revealing a little too much information about yourself, that creates a lot of projections from other people that puts you in a place where you, like, they feel complacent with where they're at, even because they're not living in their purpose. So that energy kind of transfers to you and meshes with you. And then you become that energy without you maybe even realizing it. But I feel like since you've become more aware, since you've been healing more, you've become aware that other energies may have meshed with you and created this sense of uncertainty, a disconnect with your purpose. Now that you've kind of set yourself away from that, it's like now you're back into the midst of this, and now you're back into doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you just realize that, I feel like, okay, that you were holding on to, like, you see other people as aspects of yourself, if that makes sense. It's like this codependent energy, okay, that you let go of, okay, or that you're in the process of letting go of codependency, okay, needing validation, or thinking you always need like some type of help or support, which is great when you get help and support from others. We all need that at sometimes, but I think you got overly dependent on others, and the spirit just had to pull you out of that energy, and you became too complacent, too dependent on that, and said, you need to get back to what you do best, and this is X, Y, and Z, and get back into your purpose. Okay, so that is what I got for my cardinal signs here: Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. Hope this made sense and resonated. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment. All right, so I am available for personal readings. I'm currently having sales on my personal readings right now. So, it's $25.25 for a tarot reading. It's 20 minutes long. And psychic readings $45.45, and that's 20 minutes long as well. So you can DM me on my Instagrams, the Cap Energy, Cap Visions. I have 2 profiles on Instagram, Cap Visions on TikTok, which is my biggest platform. Follow me on there. You can message me on there as well if you're interested, because I posted all my the services there on all my social media platforms. So I love y'all. Remember, the more you heal, the more you notice. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay protected. I love y'all. Remember, you didn't come this far to only come this far. I love y'all. Namaste.